The Harvard Mark I, the Atanasoff Berry computer, and the British Colossus all made important contributions. American and British computer pioneers were still arguing over who was first to do what when, in 1965, the work of the German Konrad Zuse was published for the first time in English. Zuse had built a sequence of general-purpose computers in Nazi Germany. The first, the Z1, was built between 1936 and 1938 in the parlor of his parents' home. Zuse's third machine, the Z3, built in 1941, was probably the first operational, general-purpose, programmable, that is, software-controlled digital computer. Without knowledge of any calculating machine inventors since Leibniz, who lived in the 16s, Zuse reinvented Babbage's concept of programming and decided on his own to employ binary representation for numbers. Babbage had advocated decimal. The Z3 was destroyed by an Allied bombing raid. The Z1 and Z2 met the same fate, and the Z4 survived only because Zuse hauled it in a wagon up into the mountains. Zuse's accomplishments are all the more incredible given the context of the material, the manpower shortages in Germany during World War II. Zuse could not even obtain paper tape, so he had to make his own by punching holes in discarded movie film. Because these machines were unknown outside Germany, they did not influence the path of computing in America, but their architecture is identical to that still in use today. An arithmetic unit to do the calculations, a memory for storing numbers, a control system to supervise operations, and input and output devices to connect to the external world. Zuse also invented what might be the first high-level computer language, Plankakul, though it too was unknown outside Germany. The title of forefather of today's all-electronic digital computer is usually awarded to ENIAC, which stood for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Calculator. ENIAC was built at the University of Pennsylvania between 1943 and 1945 by two professors, John Mauchly and the 24-year-old J. Presper Eckert, who got funding from the War Department after promising they could build a machine that would replace all the computers, meaning women who were employed calculating the firing tables for the army's artillery guns. The day that Mauchly and Eckert saw the first small piece of ENIAC work, the persons they ran to bring to their lab to show off their progress were some of these female computers, one of whom remarked, "I was astounded that it took all this equipment to multiply 5 by 1000. ENIAC filled a 20 by 40 feet room, weighed 30 tons and used more than 18,000 vacuum tubes." Like the Mark I, ENIAC employed paper card readers obtained from IBM. These were a regular product for IBM as they were a long established part of business accounting machines, IBM's forte. When operating, the ENIAC was silent, but you knew it was on as the 18,000 vacuum tubes each generated waste heat like a light bulb, and all this heat, 1,74,000 volts of heat, meant that the computer could only be operated in a specially designed room with its own heavy duty air conditioning system. Here are two views of ENIAC: the electronic numerical integrator and calculator. Note that it wasn't even given the name of computer, since computers were people. To reprogram the ENIAC, you had to rearrange the patch cords that you can observe on the left in the prior photo, and the settings of 3000 switches that you can observe on the right. To program a modern computer, you type out a program with statements like circumference equal to 3.14 into diameter. To perform these computations on ENIAC, you had to rearrange a large number of patch cords and then locate three particular knobs on that vast wall of knobs and set them to 3, 1 and 4. Reprogramming ENIAC involved a hike. Once the army agreed to fund ENIAC, Mauchly and Eckert worked around the clock, 7 days a week, hoping to complete the machine in time to contribute to the war. Their wartime effort was so intense that most days they ate all three meals in the company of the army captain, who was their liaison with their military sponsors. They were allowed a small staff, but soon observed that they could hire only the most junior members of the University of Pennsylvania staff, because the more experienced faculty members knew that their proposed machine would never work.